All right, so this is the CE Prep number 1 video. It's College Entrance Prep. That's what the CE stands for. And it is all about solving percent applications. All right, solving percent applications. So these are problems that you've seen before and you probably dislike a lot. And hopefully I'll be able to give you a little method to put these problems into something and solve them a whole lot easier than you have in the past. So we're going to be doing things like, what number is 65% of 180? Or 138 is 75% of what number? Or let's see, what, that's the same as that. Let's see, what else do we have? What is 16% of 7125? Okay, 3 different types of problems. Oh, actually, the first one and the third one are similar to each other. Let me see. I've got a bunch written on the back page here. Let's see. What percent? Okay, here we go. So how about 2 is what percent of 1876? Okay, so those are a couple different types of questions that we're going to talk about doing here. And the important thing that you're going to need here is this box. You're going to put a T, a plus sign in the box, and in it is in the upper left-hand corner, the word of in the upper right-hand corner, a percent sign in the lower left-hand corner, and the number 100 in the lower right-hand corner. These are not going to move. Okay, you're going to always put the is in the upper left, the of in the upper right, the percent in the lower left, and the 100 is never ever going to move, and it's always going to be there. You will always have 3 of these needed for. So you will have 3 of the 4, and you will be looking for the other one. Okay, so let's solve a couple of these using this. All right, we're going to start out with this first one here. What number is 65% of 180? So I'm just going to scroll down just a little bit here, and we'll leave that little box on the paper. And here's what we're going to do. So we're going to take number 1. I had that, but I'll make it green. Number 1. What number is 65% of 180? So we're going to take the plus sign and we're going to fill it in. What, oh, my R didn't show up. What number is? We don't know what the is. And if you take a look at our little template up here, the is in the upper left-hand corner. We don't know that. So we're going to just put an X in there. Or when you see varsity, it's going to tell you that it wants these formulas in terms of an N. So if we want to get in the habit of putting an N in for our variable, that's probably a good idea. Our percent is 65, and that's going to go in the lower left-hand corner as a whole number. Now remember, if you need to change a percent to a decimal, you're always going to move your decimal point over 2 decimals. Like 65 would become, you start here and you move it over, right? So that would become 0.65. But this is set up so you don't have to worry about moving those decimal places, which is really, really nice. And then of 180, The of goes in the upper right-hand corner, so the 180 is going to go here. The 100 never changes, so that's going to go down here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use these to cross multiply. So we're going to multiply these two together and get 100 times n and set that equal to this other diagonal. So 65 times 180. Now, when you get to varsity, they're going to ask you for the, I'm going to flip over to varsity on my screen here real quick. They're going to ask you for the algebraic equation. And I played around with this a bunch when I was prepping for this. So you should be able to put that in. You don't have to solve for it. You can put in 100n equals one number times the other. And I would do it just the way I did here with parentheses. I wouldn't use a times sign. So just do 65 parenthesis 180. And that will qualify as your algebraic equation. Then you're going to solve like you would any other problem. And you would just divide both sides by 100. Right? So we could take this and divide by 100, divide by 100. You can slash a 0 off of here and then stick that in a calculator and you're going to get 117. And so what number is 65% of 180? Well, 117 is 65% of 180. So that's how that's going to work out. Okay. The next one I want to do, I'm going to go to another screen though, is going to be this one. 138 is 75% of what number? All right. So new screen. So number 2. 138 is, I did that wrong, is 75% of what number? Okay, so here we're going to draw this guy back in here. Is, keep these on your paper, is of percent 100, and then draw a blank one in and fill in what we know. Okay, 138 is, the is goes in the upper left-hand corner. So 138. 75%, the percent goes in the bottom left corner as the whole number, right? No decimals, we don't have to change anything. Of what number? We don't know what the of is. So the of is going to be our n, and the 100 doesn't change. Now we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to go 100 times 138 equals n times 75, or 75n. And you can put that in as your algebraic equation. Okay. And then solve. So we're going to divide both sides by 75. Divide both sides by 75. I don't know if I actually solved this thing. Yes, I did. It is n equals 184. Okay. All right. The next one I want to do, I'm going to flip back to that main page. Let's see. Oops. Okay. I want to do 2 is what percent of 1876? Okay. So this is number 3. 2 is what percent of 1876? Okay, so again, we're going to use this guy, is of percent 100. And then we're going to make a blank one and fill in what we know. Okay, 2 is goes in the upper left-hand corner. What percent? We don't know that part. Excuse me. Of 1876 and 100.
Are you still here?
Yeah, I'm making a video recording. All right, so then we're going to cross multiply. I'm having a coughing attack. All right, 2 times 100. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. That should take care of that, hopefully. Is equal to 1876 times n. That's going to be your algebraic equation. And then we're going to solve by dividing by 1876. Okay, I don't think I actually solved this anywhere. So we're going to have 200 divided by 18. And that works out to 10.66 equals n. All right. So that is how these things work. There is some practice, and then there are a couple of word problems at the end that hopefully you are able to figure out once you have practiced a couple of these. Let me take a look at the very end of the varsity equation, varsity problems. Okay, so this one says the nutrition fact sheet at a fast food restaurant says the fish sandwich has 370 calories and 178 calories are from fat. Okay, what percent of the total calories are from fat? So we want to figure out what 178 is of the total. And so to do that, you're going to take the partial amount and just divide by the total amount. And that's going to give you approximately 48.1%. And this says to round to the nearest percent, so you're just going to put in 48, right? So I would hope that you would be able to figure out something like that without me going through it. But in case you cannot, there you go. But there's a couple of word problems at the end, so hopefully those go okay. Sorry about the coughing fit in the middle there. All right, well, that is the first college prep stuff. Some of these videos I already have, so they're going to be used from my pre-calc class from before. Some I'm going to have to make brand new. So just kind of go with the flow when it comes to note video numbers and things. So, all right, apologize about any confusion. Toodaloo for now.